back, guys. As you can tell, we're in a bit of a different gym. The gym that I typically train out of is currently being moved into this gym. So a bit of a merge here, but so this is gonna be like a weird transitional period. It's been about a week and a half, maybe two, since my last post. I apologize about that, but we had some things going on, ASM for one. If you're curious on how that went, I'll drop my Instagram handle here somewhere, so you can click on that and go and see how I did. A bit of a sore subject for me, so I don't really want to talk about it at the moment. But today starts off with the prep for the world record breaker for the block. I think that's going to be December 6th. So we have about 6 weeks for me to perhaps break that record. So was it about a few days ago, I actually ended up doing 312, which the record is 311. So I actually already broke it. So this is really going to be much later. It's going to be something more around trying to dial in the technique and just be more proficient, more efficient, I should say, in the lift. So I'm going to get that all set up and then I'll see you there. Sure, not really sure where I'm going to put the mic. So I might have to take the mic off every time I want to do this, just because I don't really like the way that it sounds from this position. But this is the block here. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass, if you ask me, to put together, because you got to take it apart, put the weight. So it's a pain in the butt. But we're gonna do, I think we're gonna do we have a top set of 4, and then we have a drop set for a 4x4. What those numbers are gonna be, have not decided yet. So let me figure that out. And here we go. Hold on, I don't like this. This I like much better. So you can see what I'm saying. Like, I have to unscrew and screw all 4 of these in every time I want to adjust the weight. Promise you it's not my first time. Thinking about maybe just tightening up 2 bolts at a time. Like, maybe that's the better route instead of doing all 4 every time. Then again, I don't want it to fucking rip the threads off the bolt, because that would suck. As you may have seen, one of those reps kind of like went back on me. I tried to lean it up against my chin, kind of digging it into like the collarbone area. And when I threw the weight, it actually went behind me and it kind of like tilted back. So kind of sketchy. So probably not gonna do that again. Let's up the weight. If you're interested, we're using these as like spacers to fill up the gap between where the plates go and like the top of the lid. That way it's not sloshing around. If you're in any time in strongman, at some point you would have come across these spacers. They're pretty popular in like anything from a keg to a block, and anything that needs that space filled up so that it doesn't shift around too much. You typically see them in kegs, but for here we're using them as well. So if you were curious. All right, so I think we're loaded up to, I think it's 220 now. Not really sure. I think working set today is gonna be like 270. So we probably still got like another 2 jumps that we need to take, yeah. I apologize about that tapping you heard. I'm not sure what it actually sounded like, but I know I was hitting it, so I apologize. There's like no good real place to put this fucking thing. Maybe I shouldn't curse, I don't know. There's no good place to put it though. So, trying to do my best to commentate while I actually do it. this was like any other overhead, it really wouldn't matter. You see what I'm talking about though? Every single time. Go grab these 10s over here. I could have swore that this gym had calibrated plates, but I am sadly mistaken. It's all right though. We'll make do. I do appreciate when people walk around the camera instead of walking through, but I also really don't care if they walk through it. You know, I'm not one of those people. If you walk through it, I'll just cut it out. It's not that big of a deal. But I do appreciate when people do that, but at the same time, I know where I'm at. I'm not in a personal gym. It's a commercial gym. I got to deal with that. And anybody who has a problem with it is the problem. I wanted to go a little heavier, but I'm trying to be a little more on the cautious side. I did just compete, so I don't want to immediately, hey buddy, I don't want to immediately just go super heavy. I really need to take a bit of a break. I'm kind of bringing myself back into it. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I mean, even if I don't go very heavy today, it's going to get heavy in the next couple of weeks, regardless of what I do today. So I might as well take the bit of a break that I get now. Let's see how this goes though. Struggling a little bit at the top here, because there's like, I want to set it on my collarbones, but if it gets too far tilted back, it wants to go this way. But I need to find a place where it's comfortable. I can stay as upright as possible because I have a habit of leaning back a lot with this. And I'm gonna lean back when I press it, no matter what I do, right? But I don't want to start off that way. I want to start off as upright as possible because I can generate more power from my legs and transfer it into the block if I'm vertical. If I'm leaned back, it's gonna throw everything off. I'm gonna leak power everywhere. So staying as upright as possible and then lean back to finish out the press, that's what we're looking for. Let's see what goes. Let's see what happens. Man, that sucks. It's like it's not even necessarily hard as much as it is a balancing act. Like I'm not just throwing this weight above my head. If I was just throwing it, I could throw a lot. But it's a balancing act. So as the weight comes down, I'm like trying to keep it from moving so much. That's why like a push jerk wouldn't necessarily work with something like this. Because, damn, I'm out of breath, I'm sorry. The jerk would cause too much shaking at the top. And with this being so unstable as it is already, you don't want to add anything to that. So I'm gonna catch my fucking breath. And then I'm gonna skip to 260 and we'll see how that goes for a set of 4. All right, loaded the 260. So this is the top set, 1 set of 4. We'll have some drop set. I think we're gonna do like probably 220 for 4 sets of 4. But I'm gonna turn the music up. That way I don't have to keep on turning the camera on and off. And I can focus on getting this done because it's gonna take a while for me to get this done. So I'm gonna turn the music on and then we'll talk after I'm done. Nothing like talking to yourself. The mic wasn't connected, so I'm probably just gonna put music over most of those sets that I just did, because it's just gonna look stupid and you're not really gonna be able to hear me. What we're doing here though is, I said it already, but obviously the mic wasn't on. What we're working on is the triceps. I feel like I've been doing a lot of split jerking for probably like the last 8 months. And in doing so, my triceps are not activating the way they should. I can feel it. They're weak. I'm not saying they're weaker, they're just not used to being used again. So we're gonna do a lot of isolation work for the triceps, starting with this. Might have a couple more things. I'm not sure what I'm gonna all do today. Just because this is my first day, I didn't really think I need to go crazy about it. So we're gonna start off with this. I'll figure out what else I wanna do. I'm definitely gonna pick up the pace a little bit over the next few weeks. But just as a starter, we're gonna do this. I think I'm gonna do like probably 4 sets of 4. I already did 1 set of 4 with this weight, so I'll probably do 3 more sets of that and then see what else we'll get into. Ooh, not bad, not bad, not bad. Trying to get away from the belt. Obviously, I'm going to use it on the block. I'm not going to try to hurt myself, but anytime that I can kind of get away from using the belt as much as possible, I'm going to. Just because you don't want to become reliant on it. And over time, you're going to develop a bunch of weaknesses in your core and just your stability overall. So anytime that you can do a bunch of overhead work, anything, squat, bench, deadlift, whatever it is that you want to do it without a belt as much as possible. And you will see a difference. I can't remember if I talked about it when the mic was off or not, but I realized about halfway through the working sets on the block that I realized that I wasn't actually throwing my hips forward, allowing me to drop back into that like really laid back position. And that just comes from the fact that I haven't done it in forever. And that just is exactly why you do a bunch of volume at a lighter weight when you're working up into something heavy, like what I'm going to be doing. Because it gives you all those extra repetitions that you wouldn't be doing otherwise. I wouldn't have picked up on something like that so soon. So now that I know that that's the thing, that I'm not driving my hips forward and really laying back into it, I can consciously think about that now and make the necessary changes. Because with the block, you can't really do a jerk, right? Because it's just gonna create the instability like I talked about. So being able to press, lay back, press through it is huge. And one of the biggest keys to being able to really lay back into it is shooting these hips forward and laying into it. So if the hips don't come forward, then it just doesn't make sense. Whew. It's getting heavy for sure. I'm not really sure what this is. I'm gonna call it 275, but the bar might actually be more than 45, but what does it matter? I'm feeling pretty beat up already, triceps and all, just because of the lack of work that I've been doing to them. So I'm not gonna kill it because I still have to come in tomorrow and train. But today is squat though, so it's a little bit of a weird combination, but that's just kind of how training goes. So today's overhead and squat thing. I gotta figure out what my training is gonna look like, because I wanna press the block twice a week now, just to get as much work in, because I only have 6 weeks, right? So we really wanna kind of maximize the time that I have with the block. So I'm gonna probably press twice a week. So training is gonna be very weird, like the way that I structure it. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna switch over to squat. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna work up to. It's probably not gonna be very heavy today. But I think after that, then we'll conclude the video. Okay, so we are all set up to go here. I'm pretty excited actually about this. I haven't back squatted like a traditional back squat in a while. Because if you remember from the previous video, I talked about how I don't do any traditional back squatting when I have a ton of overhead press that I gotta do. But the fact that this block allows me to push press and not like split jerk or push jerk or anything like that, it gives me the freedom to start squatting again normally, because I won't bother my knees so much. So I'm pretty excited about this. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna be able to do though, because it has been a little bit. So Let's see what we can do. Thinking 585 would be a pretty nice number today if I can do 585. You okay, buddy? You ready to head out? All right. Hey, like I said, I'm going to be here but Saturday I'm here 9 a.m. All right? All right, buddy, you have a good one. You might have just heard me talking to somebody. So one of the younger kids in the that I met through the gym. Personally, I don't mind when somebody comes up and talks to me. I love to help anybody, especially the younger kids. You know, I'd rather them do everything right than to start off and do everything wrong, right? So I do not mind when somebody comes up and talks to me. I will spend an hour talking to somebody. If they have questions, I'll answer them. I love to do it. Never ever in my life would that bother me. I think I'm going to. It's getting pretty busy in here, so I think I'm going to cut the mic, and we're going to warm up, get up to the top set. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. It could be like 585 for like a single. I'm just kind of see where I'm at, Nothing crazy. So I think that's going to conclude it today. I did a set of 4 here off camera, and my legs are shot, like unbelievably shot. I guess that's what I get for not squatting for a little while. And then honestly, the block took a lot more out of me than what I would like to admit, to be honest with you. So I think we're going to call it here. Listen, like I said, we're in a little bit of a transitional thing here. So as soon as everything gets settled, the videos will get longer. They'll be more in depth. You'll see a lot of the work that I do on the side. But listen, I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you next time.